If you're reelected, it's likely you'll be looking at the Affordable Health Care Act again.
Right.
What changes do you envision and what's achievable?
Well, one of the changes I think that we can make has to do with the medical device tax. This was part of the original Affordable Care Act, and I've talked to folks in my district, I've talked to companies who manufacture medical devices, who have told me very convincingly that this is an onerous burden on them. It affects employment in their facilities, and it's really not something that we ever should have had in the bill in the first place. So I'm open, and I've signed on to legislation on a bipartisan basis to get rid of that. But there are a lot of things in the Affordable Care Act that are really working for a lot of folks. In my district alone, we've got 4,500 or so young adults who are now on their parents' health insurance, and they couldn't have been before because once they got out of college and they were no longer full-time students, they weren't eligible to be on their parents' health insurance. And I'm not going to tell them that they can't be on their health insurance any longer, as those who would repeal the bill would say. And we've got a lot of seniors who've saved $3,000 a year on average on their prescription drug plans. That's really important. That's $750 a year. I'm open to making the changes that we need to make this work for as many folks as possible. That's the bottom line for me. Making this work, doing the practical, pragmatic kinds of things that we need to do to make it work for folks. Not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, not talking about repeal, because that's going to create far more problems than it might potentially solve. I think we can solve the problems that we see now with the Affordable Care Act, but I'm waiting for folks to come to me and talk to me about what those problems are, and I'm more than willing to cross the aisle and work with folks on that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mark.